Hey guys, it's Matt here again. What's up? Back with some Final Fantasy VII Remake stuff going on. I kind of want to talk about this because I think it's great news. I think it's great seeing all of this going on, and it's making me a little bit more excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I want to let you guys know what's going on. Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out this Friday or late Thursday, depending on where you're at. Reviews are starting to come out now. People are sharing their thoughts on the game, major publications, stuff like that, even some YouTubers, stuff like that. I think Square Enix did send them some review copies, and game's looking to be a pretty good game here, if I do say so myself. The game currently sits at an 87 on Metacritic right here, which is of course a good score. That's an amazing score right there. It is green. That indicates quality. Some people were out there trying to make it seem like since Persona 5 Royal got a higher score that this meant this game was terrible, and Persona 5 fans, I swear, I can't deal. Let's go into the actual reviews here and see what people are saying. We got a lot of perfect scores right here, 100. Green Rant right here gave us a little thing saying, above all though, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a picture-perfect return to Midgar. It is one that it's been a long time coming, and as it prepares players for the next installment, it's possible that it's also laid the foundation for what could be the greater series of Final Fantasy games ever put together, providing the quality holds up once the story begins to really expand in the next installment, of course. You gotta remember, this is a multi-part thing. I think some people tend to forget that, and I don't think it's made too obvious in the marketing sometimes that this is just part one of this. I think they should have put part one in the title, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's a perfect game. Hopefully people figure it out at some point. From what I've heard, the game's about like 37 hours long. That's from what I've been hearing. Pretty lengthy. A lot of stuff probably packed in there. The scale and detail of this partial remake is at times almost absurd, but this game is full of beauty, intelligence, and nostalgia power. Whoop, whoop. PlayStation Lifestyle, they gave a little lengthy thing here. Let's read that. Final Fantasy VII Remake is perfection. It breathes life into the cold steel of Midgar, adding weight and dimension to which was simply an introduction to a more grand adventure. It's filled to the brim with reverent fan service that respects the source material while occasionally taking leave to subvert expectations. Final Fantasy VII is one of the most defining games of all time, and Square Enix's modern-gen treatment of Midgar lives up to the legacy of the original in every way imaginable. The worst part is leaving us on the cliffhanger. We all know what's coming, waiting for the rest of the journey. But as much effort as clearly went into Midgar alone, it's bound to be worth the wait. My god, this guy had a orgasmic experience, clearly, by the wording here. Man, this guy, you loved it. Regardless of your history with the original game, Final Fantasy VII Remake is an astounding achievement. The wait for this release was a long time, but in gameplay, story, characters, and music, it delivered. The wait was worth it. For the first-time players, it's an opportunity to understand why Final Fantasy VII is held in such high regard. It's a chance to experience a multifaceted story that grapples with the complex subject matter, be in the company of memorable characters, and be moved by their plight. For returning fans, this isn't Final Fantasy VII Remake your mind remembers, it's the one your heart always knew it to be. Now let's get into the 9 out of 10 RPG fan. They should know. A refreshing reimagining of the beginning of Final Fantasy VII Remake is at times wonderful, but others audacious. And I'm here for the ride. Get on board, baby. Although Final Fantasy VII Remake only concludes a very limited part of the whole story, there's still so much more to the 30 hours worth of wonderful experiences. The way they retell the story is nearly perfect. The battle is fast, fluid, and also full of classic elements. The only obvious flaw of the game is dull puzzles, but apart from that, Final Fantasy VII Remake is definitely a must-buy masterpiece, especially for fans. This remake of a legendary RPG finds an impressive equilibrium between its past and present, crafting a distinctive world and exciting combat system that feels modern. As you could see on the screen right there, there is no negative reviews, but we have less enthusiastic reviews, so let's read those. Final Fantasy VII Remake sets out to fully reimagine a classic RPG with improved combat and expanded story. It's hurt by a weak side quest and surplus of padding, and its biggest change is bound to be controversial. It's one of the most coherent and enjoyable Final Fantasy VII releases in years, but it's also likely to be one of the most divisive. And then we got the lowest score right here, EGM, or at least the lowest that is scored. Final Fantasy VII Remake manages to balance the introduction of new concepts with faithful recreations of the original game's most memorable aspects, but it also unnecessarily pads out the first installment in a large story with too much downtime in between its striking moments. We gotta read the negative reviews as well. Not everyone is gonna be entirely positive about it. You gotta understand that. I'm not trying to do this to kind of laugh at them saying, ha ha ha, they don't like the game. They're stupid. I'm trying to look at the problems people have with the game, because of course they'll be more obvious with the lower scoring reviews. Feel bad for this EGM guy, poor guy, he's gonna get so much shit held in there, buddy. So these things kind of repeat all the same points that I've been hearing in terms of criticisms about Final Fantasy Remake, and that is side quests are mainly there just for padding. You know, there's a lot of padding in this game to keep the game length going a bit, get a little bit tedious, and a little bit drawn out. That's something I was kind of expecting, to make sure they fit everything in a reasonable time frame. It's gonna be a little bit of a short game if they just took everything verbatim. So of course they gotta put a lot of stuff in there. Also puzzles can get a little bit dull sometimes, I guess, semi-necessary. And also a big thing, there's a big change that's made, and I guess the game's story, that some fans might not like. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy VII guy, you know, I've never completed the original game. I know the characters, I know the story, I know all that stuff. I'm familiar with it. For the most part, I guess it's gonna be really new to me, or else, unless it's like a humongous change in terms of that, then maybe I'll feel a reaction to it, I don't know. For the most part though, pretty glowing reviews. Pretty faithful recreation in this modern gen age. A lot of people love how they reimagine this combats and gameplay style and all that great stuff. You know, that's all here. Laying the groundwork for a pretty great series of games coming forward, however long it may be. And it may lay the groundwork for just future Final Fantasy games in general. So, you know, just a lot of great reviews right here. Really nice to see. You know, of course, there's stuff you got to keep in mind. Don't let this be the be-all, end-all of how you feel about the game. Everyone's going to have a different reaction to this game. That's how games work. That's how life works. Everyone has a different reaction to things because everyone has different tastes and wants. I just use it as a little litmus test. You know what I mean? I just kind of stick a little thing in there saying, hey, how do people think about this game? Oh, it's pretty good. You know, that's making me more likely to do that because, again, reviews aren't going to be unanimous all the time, no matter how much people want them to. I may end up not loving it as much as other people. You know, I think a lot of the hardcore fans are going to love it. So if you're one of those, hey, go have fun. I think maybe for a lot of people, the experience is going to be different. So keep that in mind. So yeah, tell me down in the comments below what you think about all this. Are you more excited about the game now? Have you pre-ordered the game? I pre-ordered the game a couple days ago. What are you most excited about when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake? And what are some of your concerns? If you have some concerns, hey, leave them down in the comments below. You can voice those. I'm fine with worries and fears because that's okay. You can be worried. You can be afraid. You can be concerned about stuff. That's okay. Also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, turn notifications. Really awesome if you did. This has been Matt, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that's gonna be. So yeah,